In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are good to go. Hey there, everybody. Coach Mark. Hope you're all doing well. You had a good 4th of July. Happy Explosion Day. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm actually going to be doing a live rewrite. The situation here, pretty simple operation. It's probably one that we've all encountered before. I have an athlete who is currently training 4 days a week at a Strongman facility. However, what's happening is just due to his schedule, he needs to split his training week between 2 days at the commercial gym and 2 days at the Strongman facility. So what I'm going to do here on the live is actually rewrite the program, recognizing the feedback he's giving me. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First, I'm going to talk about his program as it is. So right now, day 1 is his axle deadlift day. So you got axle deadlifts, lat pull down, Zercher good morning, some rows, some shrugs, abs. Day 2 is first log day. So log, strict press, Y raises, rear delts, face pulls. Day 3 is sort of his dynamic event day. So we warm up with some box squats. We do the bag toss, heart shock, some loading work. Day 4, we got the log again, some incline press, floor press, and then more triceps. I'm not really going to talk too much about set rep schemes. This is more just kind of looking at the broad picture of the split, giving you some ideas. So first off, obviously, the axle deadlift. You can't do this in the commercial gym. So for right now, all I'm going to do is just kind of keep that bog standard, and we'll bring that over to his, got it again here, to his day 4 in the new program. So we'll just put that there for now as kind of a holder, right? Now his log day, obviously what we want to do here is he does need to train log, right? I mean, it's a big part of the event, big part of the sport. And that's going to be his heavier log day, is going to be the second day. You know, I do have him doing log twice, but because of where we're at the lighter day, you know, he won't be able to hit log twice, doing it 2 days back to back. I mean, it's an option, but not one I love. So instead, what we're going to do here is we'll take that other lighter log day, and we're going to make that a paused barbell push press. And the reason why I'm opting for the pause and the push press here is if you look at the log dip drive versus a barbell dip drive, the log push press tends to have a slightly shallower dip as well as a slightly more controlled eccentric, just due to the nature of the log trying to get away from you. So this slots in really nicely in terms of transference, right? So that'll be how we kind of get that one taken care of there. And then from there, if we look at the remaining movements, that's definitely a solid option where we can just carry them on over. Now, next up here, SSB box squat. I'm going to assume he does not have access to an SSB at the commercial gym, but we do want to keep some form of squat in there. However, because we are losing that second exposure to the log weekly, I want to change the squat out as well. We're actually going to turn this into a paused front squat. And the reason for this is if we look again at the log, the rack position is such an important part, you know, it's kind of the wild card in that event. If we can get him stronger in the rack position, we're going to have a ton of transference. Plus the pause front squat, it helps with loading. It helps with a lot of different events. So I think it makes a lot of sense to put it in here. So then from there, we've got a really good idea of what we're looking at, right? So bag toss, heart shock, loading, all of these, you know, more dynamic events. We're going to go ahead and carry them over and put them in after the log. And then all that remains would be what we're doing this day right here. Because we have this right over here, right? But we have all this supplemental pressing work. The incline, the floor press, triceps, triceps, triceps. Now there's 2 ways we could look at doing this. If he was training Monday, Tuesday at the commercial gym, I'd have to play with this a little bit, see if I can't move some things around. But if he's going Monday, Wednesday, then we have a bit more options where we might do something like full body. And honestly, as I sit here looking at it and I'm actually talking out loud, I think I do want to consider doing something like that, where maybe we're going to go upper body, lower body, and then have 2 full body days, wherein our second full body day will be a lighter day, picking lower demand movements. Let's see here, actually. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take the Zercher good morning away from axle deadlift day. We're going to put that in on the pause front squat day. Can actually take the lat pull down. I'm going to put it down there for now, because I like having vertical pulls done on lower body days just to help with low back fatigue. I find it feels really nice, reduces some of the stress that you get, right? So then we can put our row and shrugs over here. All right, yeah, so then if we put all the deadlift assistance type movements in with the pause front squat day, I actually think that makes a lot of sense. We get a lot of value out of that. And then what we can do here is, your second log day, even though it's heavier, I have him really doing more stuff like singles. It's more accumulation based. We're not doing a lot of high rep work, so it's not going to generate a lot of fatigue. So we can actually turn right over and bring some of these accessory movements over to the second day. Oops, I don't need to actually X them out. There we go. So we can do the incline and the floor press after that. Some triceps, there we go. And as I look at this is looking better and better. However, the heart shock. He's going to wear lifters when he's doing the log and the bag toss and loading. So the heart shock right here doesn't fit quite as nicely. So I'm actually going to move that down here temporarily. What we can do is we'll move the abs over here. And we might consider moving the floor press or something over there. And I'm going to have the heart shock done with the deadlifts. So let's see here. Yeah, there we go. So we'll deadlift, we'll hit the heart shock, and then we will do that. There we go. So what this does for us is now we have an upper body day, a lower body day, and 2 full body days. But what's nice is if we look at those 2 days back to back, the log, it's a lot of singles. It's more skill-based development, so it's not going to generate too much fatigue. Bag tosses are quick, they're snappy, and actually, we're going to go right ahead and put those before the log because that'll act as a nice little CNS primer as well. Get him moving quickly. There we are. Then after the log, he can lay down, do a couple hard sets of floor press, do some loading work after that because that'll also give him a bit of a break in between. And then he also doesn't have to change his shoes multiple times, which, as silly as it is, if we can reduce friction in a workout, especially when you're doing multiple things in a day, I think that's always a really good idea. And then last day of the week, he's got his axle deadlift, heart shock, etc., etc. And you can even move these 2 days around. Like I know for myself, I actually do better deadlifting before I overhead press. Everyone's a little bit different. And what's great about this is in this past week, he actually only trained 3 days a week. So he's got a little bit more recovery time with the holiday and everything. So I like this. It's very survivable. It makes sense. And you can see that we adhered to the basic concept of good programming. And this is a perfect example of how, there's programming and there's coaching. You just have to be able to adapt the program. And what we've done here is, on day 1 with these commercial gym priorities, right, we wanted dip drive on log to continue to improve. And we are doing that via the paused barbell push press as well as the paused front squats. The Zercher Good Morning is going to have loading transference, especially with that explosive triple extension, right? And then after that, doing the lat pull downs is going to help stretch out the low back, and then moving into a row variation with some shrugs to help hammer the upper back. Then we'll have some recovery before moving into an explosive bag toss, then the log, floor press loading, triceps, abs. I mean, just a lot of work being done across the week, but it also helps declutter it a little bit. And again, you can see the flow of the event selection here and how we're training it. It makes in-session considerations just go away. We don't have to worry about changing shoes so much and those little details that can just be so irritating sometimes. Like I know even for myself when I'm training in my little studio there are certain extras that I don't want to set them up. That's why I bought a cable crossover to save myself that time and trouble. So anyways, this was just a kind of fun little live to do, really extemporaneous, talking about how we can modify programs on the fly. I hope you found something useful. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below in the comment section. I'd love to answer them. Best ones are ones I will turn into topic videos. Peep the shirt, strong is not a size. These are available through Strongman Institute. Really great little Discord. Check them out. I'm one of their coaches. Really just a wonderful community. But anyways, folks, I hope you have a good one, and I will catch you in the next video. And remember, I got the Tacitus Corso coming out this weekend as well.